Hello everyone, this is Johannes.
And this is Sunniva.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And today we are taking a look at City of the Great Machine.
This is a new game by designer German Tekomiro by publisher Crowd Games.
It plays from 1 to 4 players in 45 to 90 minutes.
Yes, City of the Great Machine.
Yes.
We are in the 19th century and somebody has made a great machine. The great machine is now taking over the city and trying to make all the people into robots to make them better. Just like the Cybermen. They want you to be a robot version of yourself because that's better than being a human being. But some people don't want to be robots and they are the heroes of our story. Or are they? Not if you look at the city, but if you ask other people, they are the heroes. In the rulebook, they are called the heroes. Yes. They will be moving around this city in a hidden movement style. They will be trying to do operations and try to make riots in the city, make the discontent go up so people want to join the riots. And then, if they manage to do 3 riots throughout the game, they will win. And if the city, the great city of the machine, the city of the great machine, if the great machine manages to go all the way up to the top on his master plan, then the machine will win and the humans will be robots forever!
I love that summary.
The City of the Great Machine is a board game about hidden movement, deduction, bluffing, action selection, rioting, and making bad things. Discontent happen in your city so that people will be angry and you will maybe win.
Yes.
Or you might get a heart attack during the game because your pulse is so high. That might also happen. More about that in the review. And here is the review. Hello, Sunniva.
You didn't really explain all the mechanisms and stuff, but kind of.
I said there were hidden movement, deduction, bluffing, action selection, rioting, and trying to take people for granted.
Yeah. You're just saying words.
Yes. Hello, Sunniva.
Hello.
Welcome to this review.
Thank you.
Today we're going to talk about City of the Great Machine.
Yes, I'm so glad to be here.
Yes,
finally.
fantastic.
I've worked so long to be interviewed here on your channel.
Thank you so much for being here.
Board Game Ramblings.
Yes, Board Game Ramblings. That's the one. We're going to talk about this game now. You are like an expert on artwork and components in games.
Yes, I am, actually.
Can you talk a bit about the
PhD in board game artwork
and components? Can you talk a bit about the artwork and components for this game, which is City of the Great Machine?
Yes, I can. It has a really lovely steampunk art, and it really has like a tone. When you look at the board, it looks really, I want to say gritty, but kind of also steampunky and out of this world, because it's not in this world, obviously.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That is something only somebody with a PhD would have known. One person we played it with, was like, this is kind of like Bioshock Infinite, which it really is. It feels kind of like that game, but without the things that are in the game. But other things that are in the game might feel like this.
I like the components in this game.
Oh, you're trying to get back to the review.
Yes, I tried to get back to the review. It has really cool miniatures. Sometimes they look a little alike and have to be like, okay, which one is which again? But other than that, I have no complaints about the components. I like the wheel that turns around.
It's a wheel that turns. There's a double. It's basically a wheel. It's a double track.
Double tracker.
Double track all the way across the sky. The game also has this.
What is that?
That is something called the Rulebook.
Hello, Johannes.
Hello.
You're the expert on rulebooks that we have with us on the channel today.
I have read so many rulebooks.
Yeah, you're actually an expert on this.
That's why I have now gotten like a diploma, which says that I am the reader of rules.
Yes, you are.
My mom made it. Yes, the rulebook is good. It is exactly 28 pages long.
Cool.
It has words in it, examples, and rules. But to be serious, it is a pretty good rulebook. I enjoyed reading it. It was pretty clear to me. Nothing was like, how does that work? It's basically, since it's a one versus many game, where there is like, so it's basically then end up being an asymmetrical game where one player is playing one set of rules, another player is playing the other set of rules, and that was great explained in here. You also have a reference guide which basically has the answers to everything you might be wondering, and a lot of different ways to play the game and all that stuff like that. The game also has some play rates.
Yes, and I love all the stuff on the player rates. There are great text, all the things that you need.
Yeah.
The problem is that they are for the heroes here and the heroes here and the machine there. So if we wanted to look at all the rules at the same time, we have to sit like this.
No, but there's also ones for the heroes.
There's another one
so
as
we would
well.
never need to look at this. But the problem is that like the whole round structure is only on one card and
Yes.
only for the machine.
Yeah.
So the players do not have that, but it doesn't really matter that much because the machine is kind of like a game leader as well. So saying like, okay, now we're going to do the event, now we're going to do this, now we're going to do that. And it's not really that important, but it was like a little, like it's horrible to,
complaint.
when somebody first has the
play rates.
the play rates,
Yeah.
then it's going to be good to actually not talk bad about them, but yeah, they were there and we enjoyed them. The game has been played
Yes.
by players.
By players.
Talk about it.
Yes, we have played this game with 3 and 4 players, and it has taken us 90 to 120 minutes.
So a bit more
So,
than
a bit more than what the box says, and it is a game with a lot of decision making, and a lot of it is in secret as well. And depending on what the hero players are talking about, the little the machine person can understand, they might take into account for their planning. So especially the hero's phase can take a little time if people are discussing multiple things to do.
and also trying to discuss it without discussing it.
Yes.
I think that one of the I would have liked it to be shorter.
Yes.
And I think it might be shorter if you play with the same group, and that happens. That's the truth with almost every single game ever. I think that what might happen a lot is that since there's 2 different phases, and especially when you're playing as the machine, you're probably going to wait for quite a while. As I said, the hero's phase might take a while, so it's going to be like, oh, it's your turn. I'm going to sit there, but you have to kind of be aware. You cannot like be on your phone because you have to kind of see if you can snap out anything they're trying to do. And then depending on the machine player, it also can take some time for the machine player to do their turn. But then it can be kind of like stressful for the other player to see what they are doing, depending on how you handle these kind of games.
Yeah.
The game has kind of a lot of different mechanisms.
Yes.
And before we forgot, or we did actually forget, this is a review copy that we got from the publisher.
Yes.
Sorry about
Provided to
not
us.
saying
Thank
that in the beginning of the video. We tried to do that, but now we forgot. This game has quite many different mechanisms here, like in one game. It has hidden movement in a way because the players or the heroes are kind of choosing a card which is going to tell them where they have to move in the next phase, and then there's deduction because the machine player is going to try to deduce where they go and try to start raids to stop them and to advance the master plan. There's also limited communication, as we talked about, trying to communicate without communicate too much. There's bluffing with the players maybe trying to make the machine think they're doing something, but they cannot really speak about it, so they kind of like have to be like, oh, do you understand? I'm showing you my card now. Do you understand what I'm trying to say with that? Without saying any of that, because saying like, oh, I think I might do this. And I did that and I understood they did not understand that. So I was like, well, maybe this, and try to like hint to them what I was going to do.
Not this.
This. And you were like really good at understanding what we were gonna do. Both of us has played the Great Machine.
Yes.
So let's talk a bit about the things.
Mechanisms
Yeah.
first, maybe.
All in all, I think like I enjoy like the great mix of mechanisms.
Yeah.
Like it only has like a little bit of hidden movement. It has a little bit of deduction. You don't have to. As the Great Machine, like there's many different things you can do. So it's kind of like, if you're like, okay, I have no idea what you're going to do this round, so maybe I will do something else that I know I will get something out of.
Yes, it's like I love that as the Great Machine you have different, as you said, possibilities. You can either be like, oh, I think I know where you're going now. I'm going to start a raid there, or I'm just going to ignore that for this round and try to focus on my like how the master plan evolves, or I can just like do collect money or repair soldiers or what it is called, guards, and just build myself up for future turns.
Yeah, I think this is one of those games where you're gonna have a small like it's, for example, like Star Wars Rebellion. It's kind of like you have the big baddie and then you have the small guys trying to do these little things, and that's the same here. You have to do like these tiny little things as the players, and then all those tiny things can build up to doing the riot, because that's the whole thing you're trying to do. But to be able to do the riot, there's quite a few steps you have to go through, because in each of the districts there's going to be like people living, and you have to look at them to know who lives there, and that's hidden information from the machine player. And then you have to get the discontent up, because the higher the discontent, the higher there's numbers on the people, and the higher up on the discontent track, the more of those people are going to join you on the riots. And then you also have to move these people into the same place, so that when you do a riot, you will flip them over, and you have more of them on your team than there are traitors, which is one of the people as well, and guards in that place. So it feels very hopeless. One of the players who played with last time was like, oh, this feels so hopeless all the time.
The biggest problem for, I think, both the machine player and the heroes is money and resource management. Like, it's not called money in this game, but I'm gonna call it money.
It's called trust and bonds. I remember things.
Yes,
sometimes.
so it's really, everything costs money or trust or bonds.
Yes.
And one of the things that you're really trying to do as a big, great machine is to deplete your opponents of money. It's harder to do that for the heroes. They can't really deplete the machine for anything, but they're trying to be as efficient, like money-wise, as possible, which is really hard. So I think like managing your money or trust in this case is really crucial.
For the hero players
and hard,
as well, yeah.
Super hard.
Yeah, so I think that's interesting, because as the great machine, there's many different ways you can make it horrible for the heroes to be alive. Not just as you said, doing the raids. You can try to take their money away, and there's different ways to do that. For example, you can move around on the map. And when you think somebody's going to move from here to here, you might move the place they are on to the other side of the board.
The district,
and
basically.
Then they have to move a long way, and they can get detained on the way there if they do not have enough.
For movement, yes.
Yes. I like that. I like that there's like different ways to play both the heroes and the machine, especially maybe the machine, the heroes kind of, depending on the luck they have and where things are and what the machines get to do, they're trying to scraping by. And it's kind of a game where it's gonna be easier for the heroes the farther into the game you get, because you have more discontent, hopefully, and more people who wants to help you, and then it's gonna be easier to do the riots. So the machine player cannot really just lay low and
you can't
wait.
wait forever. But I think like when we played both of the different roles, both of them feel very balanced. They each have their own hardships that I have to overcome. And even though it feels really hopeless being the heroes in the beginning, you can still prevail if you're thinking smart and thinking a little outside the box.
Yes, this is one game that I, spoiler alert, enjoyed playing and would have liked to play more. But another player in this room literally cannot play this game without dying. Like, the first time you were playing, you were like saying you were stressed out.
Yes.
And I was like, no, that's going to be fine. And the other times.
Cinema's often stressed out.
And then the last time we played, you were the machine. The last time we played. And you had a pulse sitting down at like 115 or something.
I did.
By just being stressed out by playing this game.
I get very stressed out by playing bluffing games. I don't do that usually, like playing...
But I didn't know it was this bad. I had no idea.
It is bad. Like playing Resistance or like Secret Hitler or any of those like bluffing games or
hidden rolls.
Yeah, hidden rolls. I get so stressed out. I cannot do it. I'm like shaking and my stomach goes like, what are you doing? Are you torturing yourself? Like, what is the point of this? And even though I'm greatly enjoying myself, it's like we talked about, joy is here, stress is here. It's through the roof, basically.
It's kind of interesting. So if you know that you get stressed out by playing Resistance and games like this might not be the game for you. Another thing, like for me, this is one that and this is the case with 99% of all of these one versus many games, I enjoy being the one.
Yes.
Not because I had to decide or anything like that, because I don't like cooperative games. And important, you can play this co-op if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't
That looks
because
really cool.
I don't usually like playing co-op games.
Yeah.
Because they are usually boring to me. So I think it's more fun to be the machine in this game than because I can then sit and I was horrible times I played the machine, but I think it's more fun, and I think we're like into who is it for as well now, like because it's it is for you, and I think it's great with one versus many. If you have a group that enjoy co-op games and you have one horrible person like me who doesn't like co-op games, then one versus many games are great, and I think this is a great one versus many game for that.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a really good game. It just isn't for me. I have some of the games in this genre that I tolerate. For example, Not Alone is the one
Yes.
that I also get super stressed out. I don't know why that is easier than here, because that is like the whole game. I think here is a lot of
This
other
is a
things.
more heavy game.
Yeah, and
Like it's
also the mind management is kind of the same, but not the same stress level. It feels very intense in this game for some reason.
But I agree with you, and I feel like they've integrated like the hidden movement. It's part of the game, and that bluffing and deduction is part of the game, but not the whole thing. And I enjoy that, and I think they have implemented that in a great way. Going back to like who it might be for, which is not you. You need to like the thrill, like you need to like the stressing and the thrilling of trying to find out who is where or trying to outmaneuver people and all of that, while also playing like a strategy game, because you need to have a strategy or tactics to be able to get to where you want to be, especially as the players, or the heroes, I mean, there are many layers or many like steps to get where you want to be. So you need to be able to do that in this kind of game. So yeah, let's do some final thoughts. Do you want to begin?
I'm just going back to Who Is It For a little bit,
Let's do it.
because some of these co-op games have kind of some mechanism or something to stop alpha players. I didn't feel like they had that in this game. So if you are a group that has like a massive alpha player, maybe he can, or she can take over and just like, you did this and you did this. What do you think?
I disagree, because you cannot speak a lot, because everything you say is like going to be...
No, but you can be like, you can and point.
But they can just do something else.
That's true.
Like it's not you cannot choose the cards for people.
That's true.
So if somebody want to do that, what they want to do, and you are horrible people trying to tell them what to do, they can just do something else.
And also what I wanted to mention is that if you're playing this with, for example, just 2 players, you're still like
playing 3 characters as the heroes.
There are always 3 heroes in the game, and that is also if you're playing just one against the machine as well.
That is true. So now, should we do some final thoughts? But before we do that, if you enjoy what we do, or at least tolerate us, then you can help us out in a huge way, which is tiny for you and big for us, by giving us a victory point.
Yes, and you can do that by clicking the subscribe button down there. It really helps us out. You can also click the bell to get notifications every time we post a new video.
So final thoughts time for City of the Great Machine. Go!
Let's go! I appreciate the game. It just isn't for me. I had a ton of fun the times we played it. I enjoyed playing both roles. I thought they were both great to play. I'm just saying the same things 2 times now.
I never do that.
But for me, I would never choose to play this game because I get so stressed out. Like, I think that my life, quality of life and my health is better without this in my life.
That's true.
Because it's just, the stress level in me is so high, and this is not the game, it is me. 100%. So therefore it's very hard to rate this game, because I think it's a great game, but it's not for me. So if you know that you're not like me, just disregard my rating. But it's a 6 for me. Yeah,
that makes total sense. Like, ratings are subjective things, and for you, when you can't play the game without dying, it's gonna be hard to give it like a higher rating. I think it's a good game. I enjoyed my time a lot. It's sad that you cannot play it, basically, because it would have been nice to play it more. But it's one of those, like, I enjoyed most of the things with the game. I think it was a bit long. I would have liked it to be a bit shorter. I also would only want to play the machine, but that's just me as well. I think they did a great way of integrating these different mechanisms and these different categories of games into one. I enjoyed my time with it. I know it's not one we're gonna keep because we cannot really play it, and I'm not gonna play it solo. But for me, it's a 7.5. It's a great game, not fantastic, but a good one nonetheless. And we hope that this video gave you some feelings if this game might be for you. If it is, you can go and check it out. If it's not, then there's so many other games out there that you can play. And that is the end of this video. I'm Johannes.
I'm Sunniva.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings, and bye bye.